Welcome Reckless Wanderers, it's Robert again, and today I want to show you what I have achieved in the Battle of Exile The Awakening open beta so far with my first character. With my first character. I'm in now for a little bit over a week. Of course I had so much time to play, so the actual play time is just a little bit more than 1 day, and we're approaching our first wipe. And I made it to at least level 72, which is kind of okayish for me. And I wanted to test what else could it be, a ranger, see how the ranger progresses through the content, how strong the bow skills are, if they have changed, how they have changed, and how the game feels in general. And that was a nice opportunity for me to try split arrow as a main gem. Now that they immensely buffed it, like split arrow starts off with a lot of additional arrows in the very beginning, and also with a lot higher base damage. The base damage is in the vanilla game is like 80% throughout the game, and here it starts off above 80 and it levels. The higher split arrow goes, the more base damage it deals. It's similar to all attack gems now. And it also starts off with a lot more arrows, and not just 2 in the beginning. I don't know exactly how much it is. When I started the beta it was still 3, but then there came an update and it were even more arrows. Now at level 17 it's 8 arrows, it's ridiculous. I'm playing with physical projectile attack damage and chain. Split arrow chain is like the way to go with crit. And I'm also using the 2 new support gems, Ice Bite and hypothermia, which is really nice. Let's just jump out in the open here to demonstrate how that build works. I'm really a fan of the new Ice Bite support gem, simply because we now have a skill other than Frenzy and Blood Rage, which had their niche uses to generate frenzy charges, which we didn't have before. So generating frenzy charges was, or keeping up frenzy charges as non-CI character was a bit tedious in the past, but now with Ice Bite we have a really nice tool to play around to keep our charges up. And then again, because we're using Hatred and Herald of Ice, and also the Ice Golem that gives us more crit and accuracy, we're very likely to chill and freeze mobs. Whenever we freeze mobs and kill them, we get a frenzy charge, and whenever a mob is chilled, we deal more damage thanks to the hypothermia support gem. In terms of single target, I'm now using Tornado Shot. I have been using Frenzy before, but because I was so starved on support gems, it's like still, because the gem vendor system isn't implemented and it's almost impossible to trade for gems unless you want to pay exalts. I didn't have any supports for my single target setup, so I actually ran around with Mirror Arrow and Blink Arrow and used that as my single target damage, which was really ridiculous. But now I acquired Tornado Shot and a second LMP. So the first LMP I'm using for cursing, it's a LMP Lightning Arrow, curse on hit, Assassin's Mark. And he fooled me nice right there. And the second one is Tornado Shot LMP Increased critical strikes, I think it is. Oh no, I lost all my frenzy charges. That's kind of a bit shitty with Tornado Shot as single target. That was really good with, whilst Frenzy was still my single target, also in boss fights I could keep up my frenzy charges all the time. And it's so important. I mean, frenzy charges, now that they are a more multiplier, so every frenzy charge gives 4% more damage. This is huge. Right now, with all my charges, it's like a 3.6k tooltip. And let's just wait 14 seconds to let this go away, then you see how much of a difference that is. So it's 600 DPS just for the power charges, and as soon as the frenzy charges go away, boo, 2.2. So this is really nuts. The damage potential, I can maybe start a map so you can see what the level 72 character is capable of in maps with extremely terrible, super terrible gear, because I don't really have I haven't traded for anything particularly good. I tried to get Southbound, and there were actually some people who offered them, and my currency isn't really, I don't have much, and I said, listen, I just have a couple of Chaos and Baal Orbs, and I can give you a Divine and a couple of Jewelers, and they said, no, we want Exalts! It's kind of stupid in the beta, but yeah, whatever. I guess I have to test the new Southbound gloves in the game when it comes out and when they're not so expensive anymore. And until then, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's jump into a shore. Maybe let's do something with the shore. Extra damage, no, I don't really. As you can see, I'm also incredibly squishy, so that's fine. That's not fine at all. Ah, that's cool. Let's do that. So yeah, super squishy. Not a lot of mana. I had a lot of mana problems also. I had to play with 2 mana flasks for a very long time. Even though I have picked up Mind Drinker. But that was very late. I started as a ranger this time. I didn't want to go to Revelry. Actually, I don't really know where it is there. Because I wanted to have a jewel that gives me mana on hit, but finding jewels is another thing. So getting gems is pretty hard in the beta, and getting jewels is also pretty rare. So far I found a lot of cobalt jewels, which are of course good for casters. I have a couple of crimson lying around in my stash, and 1 whopping viridian. And I guess for me as a dexterity class, the viridian jewels are the ones I want to get, but didn't really have luck so far. So, and that's okay, that row was desynced. And that's kind of the damage that this super undergeared, not really powerful ranger can put out with just split arrow. It's cool, I like it. I played around with some other gems. I tried lightning arrow with chain as my main attack, and I also tried tornado shot, and they're on par with split arrow, but the area coverage is actually quite worse. At least with the support gems I have. Oh my god, this roar hurts like crazy. So in terms of area coverage, split arrow is really excellent. Herald of Ice does the rest with all the AoE explosions. Cool stuff. But I'm super squishy. And man, Calm. I died so many times to Merciless Calm. Just because I'm so super squishy. But that's just a matter of grinding. I literally didn't stop at all in the progression. I just ran through the entire game without farming, except in Aqueducts when I was in Merciless. I entered the Aqueducts with level 62, and Aqueducts is a level 67 area, and then I realized, okay, I'm super underleveled. I should stop now and at least get back to the zone level. And that was the only time I stopped for farming. Otherworldly. Almost forgot they exist. And man, the game feels so good without peeling. Let me just put that out there. It's so much more enjoyable. And then on the other hand, there's the new Thornflesh, where you totally insta-gip yourself with split arrow chain. You don't even have your frenzy charges up to kill yourself there. That's the first time I ran into the dried lake after I leveled up in the aqueducts. I entered dry lake, and the first mob I encountered was a Thornflesh mob. There were like 10 of them, and I didn't even curse them. I just I just fired one split arrow into them, and I was instantly dead. I thought, like, what the fuck? How are you going to prepare yourself against that? I mean, seriously. This dude is way too tanky. So yeah, that's basically it. That's just what I wanted to kind of put out here. Split Arrow is fun, the new support gems are fun, the beta is extremely fun, the new bosses are awesome, the areas are awesome, the new map levels are really, really cool. There's a lot that I could do with this character. As I said, my gear is totally garbage. I'm still even running on a decimation bow. I don't even have a harbinger because I'm lacking the currency to craft one. So right now I have a wicked harbinger bow in my stash, but I'm still waiting for the regal so I can make this a rare one and then craft the flatfish on top of that. We'll see if that will happen before the wipe or not. I don't really know. The thing is, I won't be able to play this weekend so much, and also next week I have a couple of stuff to do. I will probably be back on Wednesday evening, which will be shortly before the wipe. They're going to wipe the beta end of next week, when they will also, I hope they will implement the vendor system then, and maybe even deterministic lockstep. I'm really looking forward to that. Until then, I'm Robert, and I hope to see you in game.